Uh, my name is Tianjian Li. I'm an architecture designer slash freelance artist based in New York. Currently, I'm working at Grimshaw Architect. I have a bachelor degree of architecture from South China University of Technology and also a master degree of architecture, advanced architecture design from University of Pennsylvania. Yep.
Hi, I'm Yifan. I'm working as an architectural designer at Aural Architecture in New York. I graduated from South China University of Technology with a bachelor degree of architecture. Then I finished with the master science degree in advanced architectural design in Columbia GSAP.
When and how were you first introduced to architecture?
Well, I have always wanted to be an artist instead of an engineer or whatever. So it is absolutely natural for me to pick architecture as my major in college, as it's more related to art practice, well, given only a few choices to pick from. And I found everything much more intriguing than any other subjects.
And as for me, although I was not officially introduced into architecture until my first day of my bachelor studies, I was somehow attracted to architecture long before even knowing what it was. It started from those sketches and fantasies of living environments, mock-up models crafted with daily objects, the admiration of sculptural spaces, composition, light, materialities, and so on.
What is your design philosophy?
Well, I don't necessarily have a solid design philosophy in mind, but I do find building and representing contradiction as well as solution. I'm eager to test multimedia work rather than just simply architecture design, which include installation, digital collage, photography, and sculpture objects. All of these are actually resembling the fulfilling purpose of architecture design, which is to be utilitarian and humanitarian. By reconfiguring and reconstructing all of those existing elements from different scopes, I'm always attempting to create a work that balances virtual and reality, pragmatic and hypothetical.
Well, in my opinion, it's much more simpler design. It's ultimately about its experiential quality. Understanding how hard-won it is for a building to be brought to life, from sparks of ideas all the way to project completion, I believe that the design is a process of intelligent problem solving, which mediates conceptuality and practicality.
What does architecture mean to you?
Well, like I said, architecture at its purest should be utilitarian and humanitarian. All of this work should be characterized by strong conceptual legibility, innovation, and a rigorous approach of refinement. But besides the human aspect of architecture, I think it is, to me, more of a passive way to unbounded opportunities design. It is the interdisciplinary method of thinking that matters the most to me.
And for me, architecture has literally become part of my everyday life. I enjoy encountering unexpected moments of when architecture is actively connected to human life and becomes part of the urban experience.
Briefly explain your design process and your perspective on sensory architecture.
Okay. We believe sensory architecture can be extremely personal, but also resonate with others while giving the storyline. To us, the selected music piece, The Introvert by Michael Corbin, is a magnificent depiction of how the introverted ones end up in an unfamiliar environment and fight to survive the situation in a miraculous manner. The story, to our interpretation, is both fragile and powerful in a harmonious way. The design process was a struggle at first. I fell in love with the first selection right away. It is tranquil with the first note and majestic when it reached the climax. It is the epitome of how an introverted one would think and act, and this is also the reason I think dissecting the music will better help understanding the dilemma one is facing in the music.
And the topic of sensory architecture provided great flexibility to decode and interpret the music to architectural space. As always, music can be understood so differently among the mass audience. For us, the music piece has a few chapters with its distinct nature. It's telling us a thrilling emotional change from suspecting, encountering, struggling, fighting, and eventually elevating. Based on our understanding of the emotions, we built the Sentients Palace, which specialize the story to our understanding. The pitch, texture, duration, and reverberation for each element in the composition is translated to architectural elements scattered around the palace as ceilings, walls, and columns that defines the character of each episode.
Well, we believe that every human being has an introverted self deep in the subconscious. So that's why the palace is designed for all sentient beings that is curious about the sentimental self. This is a palace for meditation, healing, and for exploring the meaning of existence. Every visitor is welcome to take this immersive journey and develop themselves into characters and become part of the story.